we will discuss the principal squint surgery, and before that I will explain basic squint to you. We will discuss weakening and strengthening procedures and their complications. Strabismus is misalignment of eye, also called wall eye and cross eye. These are some types of squints, which comprises of esotropia, inward deviation of eye; exotropia, outward deviation of eye; hypertropia, upward turning of eye; and hypotropia, the downward turning of eye. Our primary goals to achieve after surgery is to improve aesthetic appearance and to restore or enlarge field of binocular single vision and to reduce abnormal head posture. Before opting surgical procedure, we treat the patient with correcting the optical difference with eyeglasses, use of prisms, and blyobiotherapy if there is any. And blyobiotherapy is corrected by patch therapy in patients with less than 8 years. We prescribe eyes exercises, and after all these curative methods, we go for surgical procedure. We ensure these 5 things before jumping to the surgery. We ensure for any refractive error, and on cover and cover test for accommodative target and distant target, and primary and secondary deviation in paralytic squints. Operative measures that we should take is we do pre-op evaluation. We take pre-op photographs in 9 gazes, and we do force duction test, active force generation test, that is before given GA. For children, general anesthesia is a good choice, but we have to avoid succinylcholine as it causes muscle contraction. And if in adults we opt for local anesthesia, then subtenon local anesthesia is better choice. This is how we do FDT. If there is absolute restriction on FDT, it is Brown syndrome. In uniform restriction, there might be a scar tissue or muscle contracture. And the leash phenomena, if there is a leash phenomena, it could be a scar tissue or long-standing contracture. We do active force generation test by using the same grasp on the limbus and applying counteracting force to the muscle to feel the resistance. If there is a mechanical restriction, then FTT is restricted and FGT is normal. In muscle palsy, force duction test is free and force generation test is absent. In paresis and restriction, there is restriction in force duction test and weak FGT. Before going for surgery, we should revise all the insertions of the recti muscles. We apply 2 incisions, fornix base and limbal incision. Limbal incision is usually required for horizontal rectus, and fornix base incision is used for superior oblique rectus muscle. These are 4 methods how can we resect or recess the squintation. We can also reduce the moment arm by using the fit-in procedure, and we can change the vector force by transposition of the muscle. In weakening procedures, we decrease the pull of muscle. It comprises of recession, myectomy, and posterior fixation suture, which is also called fit-in procedure. Recession can be done in all muscles except superior oblique. In myectomy, we do weakening of overacting inferior oblique and in severely contracted muscles. This is how we do recession of a muscle. First, muscle is exposed and 2 absorbable sutures on the interior border. कोई है? Point है? Pointer है? Caliper for our required measurement, and then the muscle is sutured back on the insertion point. On the जो marked point हमने रखा होता है ना sclera पे, उस पे दोबारा हम we make a new insertion. Recession is more forgiving and more effective per millimeter, and recession of a medial rectus is more effective than recession of a lateral rectus. These are other techniques like hang back procedure, and we can apply adjustable sutures. The adjustment could be made by a bow tie knot or a sliding noose. Here we can see that, and we adjust the knot post-op on a post-op day according to our requirement. In Faden procedure, we suture the muscle belly to the sclera posteriorly as to decrease the pull of muscle, combined with recession of for more effective effect. It is best for medial recti muscle because it has a short arc of contact, and it is anchored behind its insertion point with a non-absorbable suture. These are some suggested millimeter, and for superior rectus and inferior rectus 14 to 16 millimeter. Indications are for Faden procedure can be done to the medial rectus in convergence excess esotropia and to superior rectus in DVD. For paralytic squint for lateral rectus, contralateral MR can be done with Faden procedure. Now we will discuss the strengthening procedures, which comprises of resection, plication, and advancement. Resection involves the excision of tendinous part, and a stump of 0.5 millimeter is left, applying the muscle clamp, causing a crushing effect to cause hemostasis for the muscle before cutting it. The dissection limit for medial rectus is 6 millimeter, and for lateral rectus is 8 millimeter. This is how we dissect the muscle. How much to correct? For recession of 1 millimeter, it gives us 1.5 millimeter of degree, and for resection of 1 millimeter, it gives 2.5 degree advancement. And keep in mind that 1 degree is equal to 2 prism diopters. For vertical muscle resection recession, we have 1 millimeter. The 1 millimeter causes 3 prism diopter effect, and if 2 muscles of one eye is being treated, then it gives an additional bonus of 5 prism diopter. This is a table for ESO and EXO deviation, giving us suggestive measurements according to the prism diopters. For example, if it is a symmetrical surgery and we have 25 prism diopter measurement, then we can recess both lateral rectus about 6 millimeter and resect 5 millimeter or both eyes of medial rectus. Plication is shortening of the muscle by folding the muscle and suturing the folded muscle to muscle. It ranges from 6 to 12 millimeter, and the muscle is not disinserted, and anterior ciliary arteries are not compromised, and it is also a reversible procedure. In the advancement of muscle, we reinsert the muscle closer to the limbus, making it more taut. Indications are squint, in which the recession is done already, or paralytic squint combined with resection. In paresis of muscle, we do not opt surgical treatment directly. We observe the patient because up to 90% recovers itself in several weeks, and on the side, we can give Frenzel stick on prisms and uniocular occlusion if the patient complains for diplopia. We can also prescribe CT scan, head chart, diplopia test side by side for follow-up after 6 months, and alternate amblyopia therapy is given in children. Botulinum toxin is also a good choice for paresis of contralateral muscle, which will help in relieving the diplopia. In paresis of muscle, the force reduction test is positive. Then we do for recession of the antagonist muscle, and if the force generation test is positive, then we dissect the affected muscle. In sixth nerve palsy, that is lateral rectus palsy, we wait for 6 to 12 months for some spontaneous improvement. Then if there is a partial palsy, we do medial rectus recession and lateral rectus resection. And for complete palsy, we transpose the superior and inferior recti with lateral rectus and toxin transposition of medial rectus. These are two types of transposition procedures, that is Michiard procedure and Himmelshine procedure. In superior oblique palsy, if it is unilateral, then congenital superior oblique palsy, we do inferior oblique weakening or superior oblique tucking. And if it is acquired superior oblique palsy in adults, then for small effect we do inferior oblique weakening, and for moderate to large effect we do ipsilateral inferior oblique weakening followed by ipsilateral weakening of superior rectus or contralateral inferior rectus weakening. If there is e-cyclotorsion, then it should be present bilaterally, and we opt Harada-Ito procedure, that is splitting and anterior lateral transposition of lateral half of superior oblique tendon, like it is shown in this picture. The superior oblique is cut it into two half and is transposed. NAP procedure is indicated for double elevator palsy and lateral rectus palsy. Medial rectus and lateral rectus muscles are transposed superiorly to the insertion of the superior rectus, and a large posterior the dissection is needed to separate it from the intermuscular septum and check ligaments. We should also look for AV pattern in a patient. For A pattern, there is a difference between up and down gaze more than or equal to 10 diopters, and for V pattern there is a difference between up and down gaze more than 15 diopters. For A pattern, in esotropia we do both muscle MR recession plus upward transposition of the tendons. For exotropia we do both lateral rectus recession and downward transposition of the tendon. In correcting the V pattern, in esotropia we do MR recession of both eyes and downward transposition of tendons. तो अच्छा बस ये लास्ट रह गया. हीमोडिनोवेशन में क्या करते हैं हम? It is to determine the risk of post-op diplopia and to assess the potential binocular single vision. It is also done for lateral rectus palsies in order to hemodinovate of the ipsilateral MR and the patient with cosmetic poor deviations. The complications of strabismus surgery, patch therapy, we do post-op diplopia test. We look for AV patterns and then prevention of interior segment ischemia. And how to prevent interior segment